It's a brand new day. Ay. Wake up every morning and say, it's a brand new day. Ay. Take a good day, make it great, okay? 'Cause if you got some lemons, make some lemonade.
Welcome to Women of Abundant Wealth, where we inspire women to be healthy, wealthy, and whole. I am your host, Shamila.
I'm Kat.
Hey, Kathy.
Hey.
What you doing? No, I'm just kidding. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing well. What about yourself?
Doing good. I'm just waiting for that tip. See what's up in there?
Ready for the day?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what's in here. In our old faithful tip of the day jar.
Tip of the day. Each day we got one tip.
I know.
We
People have
broke.
to do better. People gonna have to do better. Okay. What's holding you back is what you are holding on to.
Ooh.
That's kind of deep.
That is deep.
Yeah, because a lot of people probably don't even think about that. That they can't move forward because they're holding on to something.
Yeah, and that reminds me of the Let It Burn that we did. Because it correlates to that, because when you release things or you letting, all that burn, you really have to let it go. Some people will do it and then they will still think about it and still, you know what I'm saying? Like, say there's something that's bothering them and then they want to release it or do a let it burn, and they do it, but then they still think about it instead of actually letting it go. Yeah. And so when you hold on to things, it's like you're not allowing the good things to come. Like, you're not allowing new things to come. You need room for that.
You do. You can't even meet your goals because you're holding on to resentment, anger at someone, all these things, emotions, I call it.
And it also causes dis-ease in the body too. Like when you start to hold on to a lot of those things. And I notice that in some people who get sick a lot, or like who have
something. They don't realize that.
They don't realize that it's not just the food that you eat. It's also mentally, what are you thinking about? If you have bitterness towards people, you tend to get sick a lot. So I see that a lot.
And the bitterness can make your face.
Yeah, I know. I feel like it makes you look old. Like when you're always mad and bitter, it makes you age faster.
Yeah.
I thought I was on. I don't know if it's scientifically proven, but I believe that.
I believe it too. I do.
Shoot, I'm about to look that up and see if it.
For sure, we're gonna find
and
out.
it's like, especially in the neck area, when you have a lot of neck wrinkles, I think. Yeah. You don't like to it. You have a nice neck. See, no wrinkles. You're pretty happy. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. I'm just saying about the next thing. I don't even know. But definitely holding on to a lot of things that causes disease in the body. And so, if you're suffering from a lot of things, if you're sick a lot, just kind of think about things like that. If you can't move forward and, you feel like there's something blocking your blessings, that's what the blocking the blessings is that old stuff that you're holding on is blocking what can come to you.
And you can work on, if you can't release it right away, maybe you can work on trying to do something to change little by little, and over time, before you know it, maybe you can just release it and be done with it.
Yeah, and even we talked about it before, you can do more than one, because sometimes it's hard. When you're releasing some of those things that cause a lot of trauma, it's like there's things I had to release, like every time I did release. Just because it kept coming back, I kept thinking about it or kept doing it. And I'm like, oh gosh, I need to finally let it go. Like, you need to physically write it and mentally let it go too. Some people just physically write it because that's what they want to leave. But they don't think about, like, okay, I actually need to mentally let it go.
But some people don't realize that they're still holding on. It's like a habit they're in. You got to break the habit.
Learning a lot of self-awareness too can help. It is like people can tell you what to do and you kind of get lost in it. But when it comes to like healing, it's always good to start with gratitude first. Because when you start to be grateful, that can also let things in and let some things go. And then when you are grateful, then you start to realize the things that you were ungrateful. Yeah, and you start to realize the things that you were ungrateful for, or maybe some things that you were holding on to. And so that's a way to kind of help. Gratitude, doing it in the morning and doing it before you go to sleep. Just say whatever you're grateful for. Look at something like, I'm grateful for my car if my car takes me to work, or I'm grateful for my house. Even if you don't like it, you'll start to learn to like it. You'll start to learn to love it. And then doing it for yourself. You're grateful for certain things, your body, all of this. Start to love on yourself. It's like how you speak to a plant. You know, you hear about speaking to a plant, watering a plant, makes a plant healthy. You have to do that for yourself as well.
You got to nurture.
Yeah, because we relate a lot to plants, like our bodies do. Like chemically, physically, well, not physically, but like the chemicals, they say the chemicals or something in our bodies is like the same as plants. So something like that. I think I'm quoting it wrong, but it's something like that. But it's the same thing, like watering yourself. You have to allow yourself to grow, so you have to nurture it the right way. And that starts with.
I was just sitting here thinking about some of the things that I probably need to release. I'm working on it.
You can do a release. I want to do. I'm putting together something for a couple of people. So if you want to come and do a release with me.
Okay, sounds good.
On the rooftop.
Well, yeah, that'd be nice.
It'll be nice. I got something set up. It's gonna be real nice. It'll help you release too. Sometimes you sit there and you're like, well, what am I supposed to release? So I'm gonna have categories so you know in this category, oh, this is what I need to release in this category.
Oh, I like
so
that
it's a little bit, it's a little bit more helpful to kind of get you to.
Sometimes people don't even know how to get started.
Yeah, that's not.
Oh, what do I need to? You know, you got stuff, but it's like, where do I even start?
Yeah, where do I start? And like that's when I started journaling. I was just like, where do I start? Like, what do I do? And then I started coming up with shadow work questions. And then even when it came to gratitude, so I do have a gratitude book out. I never really talk about it. Yeah, because I want to redo it. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
It's called like 60 Days of Gratitude. I don't remember what it's called, sadly. But yeah, I'll show it to you. Yeah. But I might even have it on the screen. But it kind of shows you, it guides you to like, you know, what you're grateful for and just steps to guide you. Some people need guidance. They don't know. You can tell them, oh, journal, but what am I journaling about? Right. My day? You know, it's like, no, you want to kind of get deep, and it helps people get deep too.
Yeah, you know, another thing, procrastination. People do that a lot too. They start something. And I think that's one of my things. Because I remember I was journaling, writing stuff, and I just stopped. And I don't know when, but one day I picked this book up and I was looking through it. I was like, oh, 2 or 3 years ago I wrote this.
Right.
And I wrote this. And, you know, I don't even know when I had stopped doing it.
Yeah, that too. I mean, just pick it back up. But procrastination is a part of fear too. And so sometimes, even though you're excited about the idea of journaling or, you know, healing, you have a fear of that. And then it can get scary because once you start to kind of lose your old self, you're like you're changing. That can be scary. That's scary, you know, to some people. Sometimes that's why people stop, but you just got to keep going.
You do.
Starting is scary, but you got to keep doing. You got to start. You got to do it.
You don't want to keep bouncing back and forth. You want to get to a place where you can stay balanced and continue on that path.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times that's just like when you're on a weight loss journey or whatever. You lose the weight, then the next thing you know, you're gaining it back. And you're like, oh, I got to get back on the diet.
I know. That's why I always tell people, don't do diets. Change your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, just be healthier. Because you do a diet. Oh, I'm doing a low carb diet. Okay, I'm going to do it for 1 month. And then you start eating carbs again. Sometimes people will gain more weight than they lost. So just like change it. If you're going to do no carbs, change, like just cut out, I'm going to cut out bread because I don't want to eat bread anymore. You can substitute it for something else. You can substitute sugar for something else. Sugar versus, instead of getting a piece of cake, get some fruit.
Sure. But the weight loss industry, they want you to stay on the diet because they want you to flip flop back and forth because they can. Yeah, you're right.
It's money, and then they take from what people do. They kind of take from that and make it their thing. Like, oh, keto, then it becomes big. Keto becomes a big thing, and then it's like, oh, like first it was like counting calories, and it was carbs, and it's the keto thing. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yep, everything just fizzles out because people just be like, I don't want to do this anymore. Then it dies out. Then here comes something else, some other fad.
Yeah, I call it a livid when you're doing things healthy, just a healthier way. Like you have to look at the words too. Diet. Like I know I may be sounding extreme, but like diet. Like you're dying inside really because when you go on a diet, you know, you may be adding something, but you're lacking something else.
That's true.
If you're on the live it, you're eating healthy, you're living a, you know, a healthier life. You're not taking away from anything. Only thing you're taking away is the bad stuff.
Mm-hmm. I had a young lady who lived with me for a time period, and she had became a vegan, and she wasn't getting enough protein in her body. But that's a story for another time.
Okay, well, we are going to take a quick little break. We have a special treat coming up. So we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So we have here Rachel. I feel like I always say a name wrong. Cardenas. Is there an accent with it? Because I feel like it's Cardenas.
You know, we can't roll our tongue.
I can Cardenas.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, but if my husband was here, he'd say Cardenas.
Oh, hold on.
But you know, I'm Marita, so it's like Cardenas. Just
you
like
said
that.
Cardenas?
Cardenas.
Okay. Yeah. We have Rachel Cardenas.
That was good.
That sounds good. Nah. Okay, Rachel is an actress, model, owner of What's Up Dallas magazine, and then the Hawk Ridge modeling agency. Okay, Rachel. So, like I gave a little, I feel like you do like 10,000 things. So did I leave anything out?
I don't do the agency right now.
Okay.
That's kind of on hold. I'm really focusing on What's Up Dallas and just getting the content out there and the purpose. So that's where I'm at right now.
Okay. So what I do want to know is, how did you create or come up with What's Up Dallas? What made you want to start a magazine company?
That is a good question. Well, prior to What's Up Dallas, I was doing photography publications. I had a magazine called Your It Magazine, which stayed in circulation for probably 3 years. And then it just kind of died out. And I was like, I love doing the magazine. I like doing the layouts and learning how to do all that kind of stuff. But I was like, I want to do something more local, something with a purpose. I want to do something that's going to help my community. And I prayed about it. And I was like, God, I have this platform, this stuff that I know to do. So I said, give me a name. Like, just give me a name, something. Because I know I want to do a magazine. I want it to be local, but give me a name. So the name What's Up Dallas, it just spurred to me. Like, God gave me the name in a dream first time. Second time, I just couldn't get it out of my head. Third time, I prayed about it, and it still came back to me. And the fourth time, I was like, okay, What's Up Dallas? All right. So, I've been in Dallas pretty much my whole life. I've been here since I could, my mom could change my diaper. So it's been a while. And I was thinking, What's Up Dallas? I was like, should I do an exclamation mark or a question mark? And then I was like, oh, if I do a question mark, it's going to leave questionable content. So people are going to be like, What's Up Dallas? Like, what's up with you? Like, what's going on? But What's Up Dallas with an exclamation mark means that we, it has something to say, something positive. So it just kind of stuck with it.
I like that.
That's how.
What up, Dallas? You got some
What's up, Dallas? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
like real loud. What's up, Dallas?
Exactly.
Get their attention. Like, what's up?
Yes, and it's been my purpose. I feel like it's my purpose. It's not a job. It's not a business to me. It's not something that I get tired of. It's like every time I hear someone's story, whether it's their business, their journey, their testimony, whether they're an actor, model, singer, it's like God breathes into the interview. And it always talks about how God is present in their life. And I was like, it's just so natural.
How long have you had this magazine?
I have been doing What's Up Dallas since September 16th of 2022.
Okay.
So it's been around for a little while.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it.
I see how you smile.
I know. You all giggly like that's your first love, huh?
Yeah.
If I want, God is my first love, my hubby my second. So, but the magazine is definitely my baby.
It's up there. Huh?
Yeah, it's up there.
I'm very passionate about it. Yes, absolutely.
That's good. What would you say some of the struggles that you came across
Okay, real talk. You know, because we talking real.
Oh yeah, we
Okay.
talk real. Yeah, we always talk real on here.
My main struggle that I've been consistently having is people wanting me to change my content to be more juicier or gossipy, or you know, something that's gonna catch more attention.
Following the trend.
Trending, yes, exactly that. Like I've had a lot of people be like, "Hey, come out to this movie premiere, come out to this, you know, event, come out and party with us," and I'm like, I can't do that. It's like it doesn't match. So if it doesn't match, I'm not going.
Yeah,
gotcha.
And I have a strict strict formula of what I do. I do nothing but family friendly content. If my grandkids, yeah, I said that grandkids. If my grandkids can't watch it, and my kids can't watch it, and their friends can't watch it, we ain't doing it. And I ain't promoting it either. So
that's good. I feel like we get that a lot with our show too. It's like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. But I'm like, it's not for you then. We're not forcing you to watch it. You're not forcing them to read it. It's for people who want to read that kind of content.
Absolutely.
And that's for everybody. Just as someone has something raunchy or they're gossiping about something. I don't like gossip content, so that's not something I will get into, but I'm not going to say, hey, you guys should be better at this. No, I'll just find content that's for me.
Exactly.
That's right. And that's the whole point, finding what's for you.
Yeah.
And stop trying to get people to change to fit whatever the trend is.
Exactly that part. And you will not find me cussing in any of my episodes, nor my guests.
Yeah, no, we don't do that.
No, we don't do that.
Okay. So what are the key messages that you want like your readers to get?
My messages that I want my followers and readers to get out of my content is that God has a purpose for everyone. That is my main one, because it don't matter what path that they have gone down or like what path they're still going down. God is still going to find a way to help them on their journey. So I noticed that every story I have is inspirational, it's life-changing, it's positive, it's uplifting, and we stick with a message to the youth every episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because it's is it a magazine and a show?
YouTube channel, Spotify too.
Okay, yes. Okay. Okay, cool. So the same things that you put on the show, do you have on the magazine?
I do. It kind of varies a little bit. I mean, of course, with YouTube, you're going to have the visual content and the audio. But I found a way to actually do the interviews where the script actually follows, where I can literally write the whole article from the script it gives me. Awesome. Thank you, AI.
Right. See, people thought AI was bad. I mean, you have to use anything that's created, you can use it for good. If it's created for bad, you can turn it around and make it good. If it's created for bad, created for good, you can make it bad.
It's a good thing.
It can go vice versa.
I was telling somebody that the other day. That's why, because people always say, oh, social media this, social media that, saying bad things. Okay, but that's how you use it, though. So whatever you get, that's how you use it. If you want to use it for good, use it for good.
It's all about the mindset.
It is. Absolutely.
Like you have a magazine company, you wanted to use it for good. You have a show, you wanted to use it for good. Good messages out there.
The youth. I like that because they
I know,
this day and time.
It's so important,
especially what's out there, right? People are everything's so accessible, and so you can access anything by just logging on Instagram or Twitter. You can see a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
And so you just need to have a lot of good
and like
stuff
the
out
younger
there.
kids get access to stuff they don't need to be. You know,
well, let's just be honest. A lot of parents are really slipping on their job. Okay, and I've seen it on the daily. I'm just gonna give a shout out to the high schools in South Dallas, because I went to one of the high schools, Spruce High School, and we were talking with some of the kids over there, and they were explaining that there's not enough parent involvement at the school, and that the kids are at risk of always every single day just going and following the gangs. Because the gangs are out there right in the parking lot waiting for them.
They waiting. Yep.
And you have to think about it though, too. It's like when we were growing up, we had our grandmothers and our moms kind of there because they were able to be like, either be at home most of the time, or be a stay-at-home wife.
Right.
Nowadays, you don't get that. You got a lot of single-parent homes, and then you have to. And some parents is like, we have to work. Some parents have 2 jobs. And so the children are being raised by other children and by a tablet.
Right.
And
sometimes it's like putting a tablet in front of your face.
Nowadays are not like grandmothers back then.
No.
Grandmothers nowadays are still trying to be like the daughters,
Kathy, what kind of grandmother you? She like
maybe a little bit of both,
nah. But yeah, that's true. Some of that is true because you have a lot of younger grandmothers who just kind of want to live their lives.
I was a young grandma.
Yeah.
I'm a grandma. I'm a grandma.
You are.
I became a grandmother at 32.
Dang.
38 for me. Yeah, but
I don't have any children.
Being a grandma these days, it's not the same. Okay.
No, it's not. It's definitely.
And then it's like you guys still work and still like when our grandmothers, it seemed like the aging is different. Like we're aging backwards a little bit.
We are.
And so like our grandmothers, they didn't do as much, like especially how society looked at things, like being a model, right?
Right.
Being a model, being an actress, like they wouldn't have thought of anything like that or wanting to do that at like 60 years old. They thought, oh, you got to be at home cooking and all that.
I'm too
and so
old,
now,
they always say,
yeah,
I'm too
exactly.
old now to do such and such. Yeah.
Well, thank goodness that we broke the boundaries.
Right. And it's a good thing. I don't think anything's bad about it. Just watch your own kids, I guess. Don't leave it up to the grandmothers and the grandfathers.
I do love my grandkids. I do love my time, though. But, I'm finding it really enjoyable that, I started as a very young mom. I was 17 when I had my first babe. And I basically grew up with my daughter.
Oh, yeah.
So when she had her baby, I got to relive the baby moments that I missed because I was working when she was a baby. And I'm still working, of course. Yeah. But now I get to see the babes a whole lot more now. I'm just like enjoying it.
But like, are you feeling like you're getting to do more so what you want to do, like your purpose now versus when you were younger raising your child?
Yes, I do. So I was a married woman, but I was basically a single parent pretty much the whole time. And that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah. But I was working so much that I missed out on that part. And I missed out on actually having like time to myself or learning to love myself because it wasn't about me and seeing my kids grow up. It was about us surviving.
Right. Oh yeah.
Okay. It was about us surviving. Definitely. So I had to work and they had to do their thing, but I had to do my thing to make sure we both ate. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And now I feel like they're grown now, so they understand that they do have to take care of their babies. But they're also understanding that mom needs a break too. Mom has a life. Mom is a model. Mom is an actor. Mom has her own YouTube. Mom is doing things for the community. Like they understand and they support it now.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good to see. I feel like that's inspirational for them too, and your grandchildren to see that.
And you never know who's gonna follow your footsteps.
That is true. I mean, my oldest grandson Blake, he's so cute. He'll actually find my episodes on YouTube, and he calls me Ama. So every time he sees me in the video, like even like the intro plays, Ama, and he's showing it to everybody. I'm just like, Papa, you so sweet. I love him.
That's cute. See, they're proud of you.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, we're going to take a break. We're enjoying you so much, and we'll be right back.
That sounds great.
All right. Welcome back from our short break. So I do want to talk about like your modeling and being an actress.
All right.
So what got you into modeling?
Oh gosh. Okay, so make a long story short, I was struggling with my own self-image for the longest time. So during COVID, everybody knows about COVID, kind of made the world do a whole bunch of 360s or whatever. I just wanted to do something, positive for myself. I was like, I did want to be a model when I was younger, but my family didn't have the finances. We didn't have the connections. Barbizon was way too expensive for us. So it was just kind of like, well, I don't know. Can I do this? So I was talking with my husband, and he said, if that's really what you want to do, go for it.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, all right. And I was like, how do I do it? So I found some groups on Facebook, you know, TFP groups, photography groups. I connected with a whole bunch of photographers, some which are really, really great friends of mine now. And I kind of did it not to be a model, but to build my self-confidence.
I like that.
And that was my goal, was never to actually be like a sign model or anything like that. It was more to me true to myself and understand that I could be at 32 a model and that people were going to respect me for being me. So that's how I got into it. And the acting part just kind of
fell into your lap. Yeah, it kind of just falls in.
Being in the industry, you know, if you look at some of the models like Tyra Banks and what's her name, Cynthia Bailey and them, they all started out as models and then now they're
because you gotta think about it too. It depends on what you're modeling. You're kind of doing you're acting in stills.
Yes. You really are.
Yes.
So you're kind of acting in stills. So when it comes to modeling, professional modeling and doing all that stuff, especially when I used to watch, what was the Tyra Banks show I used to watch?
America's Next
and all the stuff they had to do, it's just you can't just get up there and just take a photo. When you're modeling, you really have to, show face and do certain things.
To be all in it.
And so that sometimes that takes a little bit of acting because maybe you don't have the confidence a lot. Because even if you don't have the confidence, sometimes when you look at your pictures, you look real confident in it, and it's because you're acting like you're confident.
You'll be like, "Is that really me?
Right?
Like, where did that girl come from? I don't even know."
But I definitely understand being a model, boosting your confidence. I feel like that happened to me, in movies and being on TV and stuff. It kind of helps because then you're seeing yourself. At first, it's scary. It's I don't want to look at myself.
It really is.
But then, even with my voice, I was like, oh, I hated my voice when I first started. And I'm like, I don't think I sound like that. But then when I start to hear myself talk, I'm like, I do sound like that. Sometimes I think my voice changes a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like I start out heavy, and then at some point I kind of lighten it up, and I'll be like, oh, I can't.
I have a real high-pitched voice naturally. It's like sometimes I answer the phone and people are thinking they're talking to my daughter. I was just like, no, it's the grown woman now, okay?
Well, I used to call my grandma. She's like, Shamila, you sound like a little girl. I'm like, oh, no, it's just me.
But I was going to make a reference to, so years ago, maybe 15 years ago, I started dancing. Swing dancing, and I was real nervous, in the beginning. It just took me a while to get used to it, and finally, when I did, it does build your confidence because now I can go out and just dance with anybody and not think anything about it, unless they doing stuff that I'm giving them that look like, we're not doing that.
Right.
Not like the timid look like, oh my God.
Right. You know about to flip me up in the air and throw me.
No.
But yeah, it does different things to help build your confidence.
They do.
Absolutely. So what do you say is your favorite parts about being a model?
Oh, gosh. Portraying a character in still motion, of course. Portraying a character in still motion and being able to pull off a look I didn't think I could do.
Oh, I like that.
I have taken, gosh, I don't know. You ask my husband right now. I have 15,000 pictures right now. Different concepts, different looks. I pulled off. My favorite one was the Audrey Hepburn.
I saw all your print. I was like, you have so much print. Oh my God. Definitely.
I just wanted to be able to display the variety of things that I could do as a model and not just stick to one look. Yeah. Because I think a lot of people get stuck with just that one look and they don't realize they are capable.
They feel like they're branding themselves when they do just that, but Absolutely. You want to kind of step outside of the box and show them that I'm not just this one thing. I can do,
Absolutely. And my favorite photography, my favorite style is vintage photography.
Ooh, I like that.
The film noir, the black and white, Dick Tracy look. Those are my favorite type of shoots to do. I just feel so classy, like I'm back in that era.
I love because the era, the 40s, 50s, 60s. I think that's my era.
Yeah.
70s. Maybe up until like the 2000s. Well, no, that's my
I
era
could still
too.
do some 70s. I could do some
I
80s.
love the 70s. I love because I love bell bottoms. I just love dressing like that. I dress different all the time, and so sometimes people talk about me. I think I got called Florida Evans one time because of the way I was dressed.
Let
But I'm
them talk,
like,
girl.
okay, I don't care. I look cute still.
Okay.
Little
Yeah,
Florida.
I do a lot of different changes too, and you're right. People think that you're weird or different because
We're supposed to be different though.
right.
We
That's
are
all I was
supposed to
telling.
be
I'm
different.
like, people who talk about other people's clothes are usually kind of plain, or other people like what they're
They
wearing
want
or
to put you in a
something.
box.
Yeah, so it's like we're all not the same. We have to realize that we're all different. People dress
Absolutely.
different. Okay, I heard this. Not to be off topic, but it was this comedian, and it was funny to me, and I want to say this because I feel like it's so true with a lot of things. He said, and he said it as a joke, and it was hilarious, but I feel like it's true. He said, you know, there's not ugly people. There's just somebody you just never seen before.
Okay.
And I think that's so true. Like it's because a lot of people do look alike, or you may think someone's beautiful. You might not have seen it before, but sometimes, you know, your vision can be distorted. It's just the way you see things. Somebody may see that same person that you don't think is beautiful. They may think that's the most beautiful person in the world.
That is very
So I do not believe that there are ugly people. It's just
that's
somebody.
Just how men or even women we choose who we like, who you think is handsome. I might be like, oh my god.
Or even they just might just grow on you.
Exactly.
Like you're just around
Personality.
So much, you just learn to love them like that.
Yeah, personality would definitely happen to me a lot. And then the real them shows up, and I'm like, "Oh, you really are ugly." No, I'm just kidding. No, but I really think that though. I don't like calling people ugly, but I really think that there's no ugly people. It's just that that's something that it's something new that you just haven't never seen before.
It really is. Yeah, everybody's unique, and I feel like everybody's beautiful in your own way.
It's all about perspective.
It is.
Yeah, your personality can be ugly though.
That is a fact.
That can turn you ugly. You can be on the outside look so pretty, but you have this ugly personality, and you're like, she's not as cute as I thought she was.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what about society? There's always a standard, like, oh, if your nose, they have this thing where it's like your nose have to look like this and that to be the most beautiful person in the world. God, yes. And I'm like, and you see him, and like, okay.
That's what happened to Michael Jackson. He just dwindled his nose away, trying to make it look like what society wanted.
Yeah. And they say, especially when it comes to, you know, our features, if you're a person of color, our features may be a little bit different. So it's like, okay, well, that's not pretty. Your nose should look more like this. Or you should look like that. Your lips should look like this.
I think their
nose is bigger, you know, more wider.
I think you're all gorgeous.
And so do you ever see that when it comes to like modeling? Like it's like, okay, well, you're to this or you're to that, so I don't think that you'll look good.
I have faced a lot of people that were saying either you're too curvy, you're too old, you have too many scars, you have too many tattoos, you have piercings, all that kind of stuff. And you know, the thing is that nowadays with the modeling industry, they're embracing ethnicities, they're embracing ages and genders and
I know,
looks.
I like that.
They're going more for people that are like, I want to say gender fluid as an appearance now. I think that's what the hot topic is for like the modeling industry now. They want guys and girls that look both male and female because they want to be able to fit any type of fashion designer out there.
Yeah.
And you know, what I gotta say about that is if you study your craft, if you study to be a model and you work on it and you do it, anything's possible.
Yeah, and I feel like modeling is an art, so everyone shouldn't look the same.
It is an art.
Because I want to see something different.
But back in the day, they didn't see it like that. They thought every model needed to be very slim.
Look like this,
tall.
walking down.
Yes. Slim, tall, blue-eyed.
Right.
Blonde
exactly.
hair.
That part I wanted to kind of go past that.
It's
You're right. That was
it's kind of like it's kind of like a robotic, like how they're trying to do robots now. It's like back then they want everybody to live upon
or anything, and I think having a little smile or whatever, it makes you look more softer and feminine.
It's a selling point.
It's
a selling point for your personality. If you don't smile, you don't have a personality.
Right.
Yeah, show a little bit of your personality. Some people just, you know, you want to dance a little bit.
So we've enjoyed this conversation, and we're going to take another break.
Hey, wake up every morning and say it's a brand new day. Hey, take a good day, make it great, okay? 'Cause if you got some lemons,
Hey, well, welcome back once again. Sitting here with Rachel, having a good old conversation.
Just doing girl talk.
All right, yeah.
And going back to when we were talking about how designers want models just to go out there and just walk and not smile. I know that a reason for that because a designer told me a while back they want you to go out there and show off the clothing and not your personality. So if you're out there smiling and doing all kind of,
Be too
dips and all
distracting,
this
yeah.
stuff, you're distracting from the clothing, and the audience is looking at you like,
Said,
oh, okay.
dips, okay.
That does make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like, don't be out there flipping and dipping in my stuff.
Right.
They can't see what you got on.
Right. Yeah. They looking at you like,
Okay, this is not your time to shine. It's for my clothes.
Wrong
the
time
clothes get lost.
Right.
Wrong show. Oh my God, wrong show.
For real. Up there performing in my clothes. This is not for your career.
They're showing
Yeah,
the flexibility of the fabric.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like, I'm just in case you want to dance. I'm just showing you that you can dance.
You can do that.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, gotta help you out.
Yeah. Well, you think that's what you're doing. I
Right.
think I'm gonna help them out by doing all this,
Yeah.
but no,
Okay.
really, you're not.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I mean, let's bring it back to that conversation. Fashion shows like nowadays are not like the ones back in the day.
Right, they're
Mhm.
not.
The fashion shows that are now, designers, there's a lot of urban designers, a lot of streetwear designers, a lot of designers that are wearing comfortable, casual, clothing.
Mhm.
They like to put on a show because
Yeah.
they put on a show, people are going to come back for the next one.
Well, I walked in the show, remember, and it was a production, and that's interesting, with Tamara,
But it went well with what she had though, because her clothes spoke for itself, and then she made it how everything was. It all formed together just perfect. Oh my God, I can't wait for the next one. You got to go too. It was nice.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Y'all just let me know and I'll put it in my calendar.
Because you can pay, because it's like you're paying attention to the production itself and also the clothes too.
Yeah.
So it's like I remember every piece.
Yeah. And then she brings the music that helps also
Yeah.
bring it all, ties it all together. The
love
music, the production, the clothing, everything. It ties it all together. Even certain hairstyles.
Anything that's gonna make her be remembered. I think that's what a lot of fashion designers go for.
Yeah. Yep. Of course, you want something that stands out. So, what advice would you give an aspiring model?
All right, this is kind of like my favorite segment. Any kind of question that someone asks me about aspiring other models, I would have to say the most important piece of advice that I stick with to this day is do not compromise your image or your self-worth for somebody else's paycheck.
Yes.
What I mean by that is there's going to be a lot of models out there that once a model be so desperate to model, get their name out there, they're going to shoot and model in whatever photographer says for them to wear. Sometimes not wearing anything. And I feel like whenever models compromise that part of themselves, they lose their respect.
Yeah.
And now they're gonna have more photographers who are gonna be like, oh, well, I saw you wearing that.
And they only gonna pick you for
that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that's my biggest solid piece of advice.
That's good. And we talked about model safety during the break too. So I think that kind of leads into that, because sometimes it's like it is not an excuse. I mean, it's not. I don't think anyone should harm anyone else by what they're wearing, but people think that it's some men, even women, think that it's inviting. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, well, you do this. So like you were saying, they're calling you at such and such time of night. Oh, can you come do this? No.
Yeah.
Like, what we doing?
I mean, like,
11 p.m. No, I'm in bed at 11.
Exactly. I got
so it's
my
half the world.
notifications on silent. You're not even reaching me right now.
Right.
Model safety is very important. I've had to learn a lot through this journey of being a model that not every photographer is going to be your friend.
Mhm.
They're going to try to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
I did have one photographer at one point. My son, if y'all ever see my oldest son, he's like 6'3", big guy, bodyguard type, right? And this photographer wanted me to go to his apartment to shoot a photo shoot by myself, and he told me, he's like, "Oh well, your son can come along for the ride, but he can stay outside." And I was like, "No, sir, we're not doing that." So block. And then there's other people who will try to get you into a private area and just send you like a house address instead of a studio, or they'll be unaccredited, or they'll basically be like, "Oh, well, I shoot this and this and this, but if I pay you this amount of money, will you do it?" And I'm just like, no amount of money is gonna make me take my clothes off.
Wow.
And that's why I always reach out to other people in the industry. When somebody reaches out to me, I'll be like, "Hey, are you familiar with this person? Tell me what you know about them before I even try to even go any farther
True.
talking to them."
I do have a blacklist group for models out there for your own safety. There are people that I have networked with that are not good news, and people that are not to be trusted.
And that's good.
Oh wow.
So if y'all need that list, y'all hit me up. Okay?
One more question. So mental health. I think that's so important nowadays.
Yeah.
What's your stance?
Mental health as a model or as a woman?
All of it.
All
model,
of it.
Woman. Yeah.
I'll hit both bases. It's fine. I got this. I got this.
You got it, girl.
Lord help. No.
Got it, girl.
As a model, I think mental health plays a really big toll. It's a really big toll on a lot of models, especially new models, because they're not used to rejection. I think whenever it comes to the modeling industry, you have to learn that if they say no, that's not meant for you. It's meant, there's something better for you down the road. So keep working your craft until you get that yes. And I say that with all love and compassion in my heart, because it took me 3 years to become a signed model. And I got used to a lot of no's. I mean, people like, well, your portfolio is like, all that kind of stuff, or you don't have enough experience, or you need to go to modeling school. But that's not true.
That's right.
You don't have to go to modeling school to be a model. You just have to be really good at what you're doing. And passionate and professional to work with. I realized that there are a lot of photographers out there for the wrong reason. A lot of agencies out there for the wrong reasons. I've had my bouts with them. Sometimes they ask you to pay a membership.
I know.
Oh, wow.
Every month. Just to be listed on their website.
And nothing's happening for you.
And it's all a gimmick. Really it is. They're just trying to get your money. So don't do that. Mentally, I was like thinking that I wasn't good enough because I wasn't getting signed in the beginning. But then my husband told me, "You're a great model. You're an inspiring model to all these young ladies out there. So you keep doing what you're doing and don't focus on all of the haters out there."
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, Rachel, we enjoyed you, and you have to come back. And you got to get us on your show too.
I would love to. I would love to. I would love to. It's going down.
Yes, definitely. But we really enjoyed you. Like for real, we really enjoyed you. I always enjoy you. You have such a beautiful personality. Every time I see you, ever since I met you, it's just like, oh hey, like once I come, you just make everyone feel seen. Like really, and I love that. Like as soon as you walk into the room and you're there, you're like, oh hey girl, you hug everybody, you embrace everybody the same way, and I love it. And that's what I love about you.
We did a couple of shows together.
So. Yes, we did. We did. I mean, just so y'all know, these are my actress and model buddies here. So I mean, we knew each other before I got here. So we keep tabs on each other.
Yes,
right. And we've been trying to get you on for what, a decade before we even started the show. No, I'm just kidding.
It seems like it, yes.
Yeah, but we definitely have to get you back on. I feel like it's a good conversation. I love everything you said. I feel like you're very inspirational, And is there anything like coming up that you want to talk about that you have coming up?
I mean, nothing like really too crazy. I just really want people just to go like, support, and share the content.
And where can they find your content?
It's universal. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. Ooh. I even have a LinkedIn, and I am it's all at What's Up Dallas Magazine. All together. Super easy. Even my email's the same. What's Up Dallas Magazine at Gmail.
And I do want to add, so your magazine, is it only digital, or do you also have physical copies, Kim?
Everything is on my website. So whatsupdallasmagazine.com. Everything's there. YouTube, articles, anything that I've done in the past. Want to order a magazine, it's on there.
Okay. So physical. Okay. Well, that is it. Next time you see us, we'll be on Rachel's show.
Absolutely.
All right. And once again, we love you all and thank you for watching. And good night, good morning, whatever time of day it is that you're watching it. Yes.
Bye.
It's a brand new day.